There are so many moments in a season when you reflect back that really define a team and what it's going to look like. You look back at the beginning of the season when we lost both Shanice and Zoe to significant knee injuries that they weren't going to be able to play. And then you've got to make your team and develop what you're going to form into.
Hey, great toughness, right? Great toughness. Again, we got to clean up a couple things, all right?
So many challenges. You know, we went down to James Madison. We were down by almost 20 points on their court. But to see that fire within the team, to be able to come back.
57 James Madison, 41 the 8th ranked Maryland Terrapins.
I think that just showed us that, you know, we want to win.
Another three! What a way to start the fourth.
We were down 19 points in like the fourth quarter, so we didn't have that much time to, you know, pick it up. But, you know, we told each other, you know, go out and just fight as hard as we can, and that's what we did.
Hey, I've had teams that have been down further than this that have come back, all right? But you got to believe.
Here comes the inbound. Owusu, 13 seconds.
I was definitely nervous, you know, being a freshman and having the ball in your hands with a few seconds left with the game on the line.
Maryland will wait for the final shot.
But I was confident in myself, and I know that my teammates were confident in me.
Owusu lays it off the glass and scored.
Right!
Ashley with a game winner later signified to us, you know, what kind of player she was going to become.
A heartbreaking loss for the JMU Dukes, outscored 27-8 to end this game.
I think to the NC State game when, as a staff, we really kind of asked the question to our team, who were they going to be? What was their identity going to be?
What are we building for? Are we building for November, December? No, we're building for March.
Was it going to be based on defense or rebounding or offense? Who would they want to become?
We took a major step. I will not fault like how hard you fought in this game. We forced them into 28 turnovers. I've never had a team from Maryland force 28 turnovers. That's who you are. You're building your identity.
Our team is definitely searching for our identity, but I think after today, after they're forcing 28 turnovers, it kind of shows where we're headed.
That's our growth, right? We got to own it.
I think at the end of the day, if we go into all of our conference play after working on that, I think we'll be a lot better as a team.
We got to make sure that understand, okay, offensively, defensively, what is our identity, and hold each other accountable to it every second of the game, period.
I think it's going to be a big learning experience for us to get better. During finals week, and just kind of get that out through practice so we can get better for conference play.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Family. I think to the conference play, and you know, us starting out 2-2 in conference play.
Watson with the quick trigger, and Iowa survives a Maryland charge.
You know, a situation we've never been in as a program. Our backs were against the wall.
We had the lead. We came back, we fought all this way, and then we just kind of gave it away. We didn't really give it our all to actually win.
That was a defining moment for our team.
We had the lead, we came back. And I don't think we really wanted it because we gave it up. And I apologize as a leader. I don't think I was there 100% the entire game. And that's me holding myself accountable.
I didn't want to be the only one talking. I wanted everybody to speak and like give their perspective of the situation.
I know my other seniors feel it, so.
I mean, at this point, really, there is nothing else we can say because we keep saying it over and over again. Like, I don't know what to say.
Probably the biggest thing that still sticks with me is kind of how we came together after the Iowa game.
We got to string games together.
We could have went one or two ways, and we obviously didn't want to keep going in the direction we were headed in. And I think we took the initiative ourselves just to kind of to turn things around.
Everybody on this team is hella talented. Everybody on this team can get buckets. That's why you're at the University of Maryland playing basketball here. But at the same time, like when you're in those instances where you're missing shots or where stuff's not going your way, like you gotta look and pour energy into others so that you're not defecting within yourself.
The communication between all of us as players, I felt like we weren't on the same page all the time. So I feel like that was very important.
It's another thing for us to have these kind of conversations. So I feel like we should start watching film.
After the loss against Iowa, we decided to have a team meeting where it was just the players, and we decided to be super honest with each other, discussing things we needed to do as a team to get over the little hump we was facing early in the season.
They then went to a team meeting, went back and watched the film, and You know, as we moved on towards the Michigan game, having the opportunity to stay out on the road, it really became a player-led team.
I think it was very neat that we were able to come together and watch film and hold each other accountable because we know we could play better than what we did against Iowa.
I think when we watch film on our own as well, it kind of gives us a different perspective of the game of like, oh, what did you see? What did you see? Like, yes, our coaches see everything and they tell us, but at the end of the day, when we get to come together as a collective and kind of sit down as players and like analyze the film, having this conversation is just going to make us better as a team.
It was just like, okay, let's fix this because we want to win and we just don't want to be losers. So it was just like, okay, let's put all of our brains together and figure this out. And then all you saw was nothing but growth from there.
Today's Big Ten Conference matchup featuring the visiting Maryland Terrapins.
That changed everything for the better. We started playing more for each other and realizing that we weren't going to be able to do it as individuals. And I think that was probably one of the most eye-opening things for me. I mean, that's just when things started to really get fun again.
So Maryland with the lead and doing things that we're not used to seeing Maryland do, and that's like do things really, really well defensively. You're talking defense, you're talking Maryland, right, Pam? Yeah, I mean, it's been terrific all season. This has been the way Maryland has played. It's more of a steal score mentality.
It starts at the head with Blair. You know, she sets the tone for us defensively, but I thought all five were connected to be able to really be aggressive and turn them into a lot of turnovers.
And now Michigan has turned the ball over 5 times in its last 6 possessions.
I thought that intensity was a huge difference for us within this game. Ball pressure!
If you look back at this game, you saw how much fun we had and just how much fight and intensity that we had.
Drop! Here we go!
Go, finish! Finish! You got it! Yes!
Being on the bench, we call ourselves the Red Shirt Gang because there's 4 of us red shirting. Olivia, me, Mimi, and Shanice. We take pride in how we keep the bench and how we maintain the energy, and because that's what we have to contribute to the game. We like to uplift the players and just try to help them out as much as possible while also getting as hype as possible.
Being a part of the Red Shirt game truly showed me that you don't have to be on the court physically to support your team. Simply cheering, taking pictures, you know, doing the little things you have to do off the court to help your team goes a long way.
Yeah! Woo!
I think the Red Shirt Gang was probably one of the best, if not the best thing that happened to me this year, because like when you look at all 4 of us that were in it, me, Mimi, Shanice, and Olivia, like there are struggles mentally that you go through when you can't play, and even more so on game days. So I think with the cohesion that we had and just forming that bond and being able to say, you know, we might not be able to play, but this is our role and we're going to take to our role and we're going to perform our role as best as we can. I think that kind of helped us all to get through it.
Maryland ending the game on a 12-0 run.
These guys right here, man. All out energy for 40 minutes, every game, day in, day out. You'll always see them cheering no matter what's going on. We could be down by 40 and they'd still be cheering us on. And all you got is love and support from the back, and that's all we need.
We love each other.
Yeah, absolutely. One big family right here.
I would say the Red Shirt Gang, we're a great group. We love each other so much. And we were just happy to support our teammates.
Mike Sell feeling a little bit, look out!
Cheering on the bench was like us playing. We would always joke and laugh and be like, yo, we played 40 minutes tonight because like we've been cheering for those 40 minutes. Just being a part of the Red Shirt Gang, I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for the teammates that I have, and I'm just happy that I got to cheer them on with the other group of Red Shirts.
The Ninja goes to the bench!
You could see in that time a 17-game win streak they put upon their shoulders. Some defining moments, you know, when Iowa came back into our building. Gosh, you know, we won that game by over 40 points or something like that.
Go get it! Another turnover for Iowa and another opportunity for Maryland to score off of a live ball situation.
Iowa kind of jump-started, that movement, that climb, just getting together after the Iowa game. So being able to not peak when we played Iowa at Xfinity, but, to showcase how far we had come and developed and matured as a team was really, really cool.
How much fun did we have today? How much fun? I mean, that is total domination across the board.
They were statement games where you saw our players really take the ownership back and just want to prove themselves every single time that they stepped out on the floor.
Looking back, I think the seniors prepared me for moments in the future and moments like in the Big Ten tournament where we needed to step up.
What I would say, like right now, you got some seniors struggling. Freshmen might have to take over, right? This might need to be your guys' time, right? Be confident, right?
Coach always said each game it was going to be like different players doing different things, and she needed us to perform.
Ashley in the first half, I thought made some tremendous plays for us.
Owusu taking it to the basket.
And then how special was Diamond in the fourth?
Here's Miller for three. A big shot for the Terps.
The confidence that she played with, the length that she had defensively, I thought really gave them problems on the top of our press and on top of the zone.
I really appreciated that green light.
Miller again, and she's helping Maryland pull away.
Most freshmen from going to different schools don't receive that green light, and for her to give it to us in that critical moment was pretty cool.
Owusu out of the timeout, that soft touch. And Owusu now in double figures, she's got 10.
For Diamond and Ashley to perform like they did tonight on one of the biggest stages, you talk about the semifinal game of the Big Ten tournament.
Miller goes back to back.
It just continues to show what makes the two of them so talented to be able to separate this team. Hell of a game.
The NCAA tournament has been canceled for 2020.
March Madness, college basketball's premier event, canceled.
The NCAA has no other choice but to be a responsible global citizen here.
Your character really comes out under pressure. And I think, for me, what an incredible example, what a powerful moment when you talk about that pressure that our team felt, that Kyla felt that day, knowing that it possibly was going to be our last practice together. Every single one of us, our heart kind of skipped a beat when our deputy AD, Colleen Sorum, came down the stairs.
At the end of practice, we were doing post-guard skill work, and I noticed that Coach B, just walked off and was saying everybody go to the locker room, and I just kind of had the vibe that we weren't going to receive good news because we didn't even bring it in and huddle up and say Maryland on 3. We just kind of walked off the court, and so I was just like, this is probably my last practice, and I just wanted to end on the make, and I was just like, oh, we're not going to finish our drill. I wanted to finish the drill with my team, so I kind of stayed back a little bit.
To know from Kyla's end that she wanted to take that last shot, she wanted to finish what she started. I think that's so cool and so fitting when you talk about all of our seniors, and specifically Kyla, who's been here for the last 4 years, just to kind of see it all come full circle, to kind of have that understanding and perspective that what if this is my last practice? And you know what, if this is my last practice, I'm going to make sure I walk off this court finishing what I started.
I kind of stayed back a little bit on purpose to just make sure that we got the number of reps that we were trying to, and then I ended on a clean make because that was essentially my last practice in a Maryland uniform as a Maryland Terp.
I think it speaks volumes to Kyla and the character that she possesses as a person. I think it speaks volumes to our program. We want to make sure that the lessons that we're trying to teach in our program, that our players are able to understand it and be able to put them in real life situations. That's what it's all about, is that you want to know that Kyla's in great hands for what it looks like for her moving ahead in her future.
With the seniors moving on, my position in leadership is definitely going to be higher. And I know my voice is going to mean much more this year than it has been. With that being said, I'm definitely going to take what I learned from the previous seniors and make sure this team still have fun, hold each other accountable, and just make sure we're playing for each other.
Get down, 10.
Losing so many seniors is really hard, but I've had them since my freshman year. Obviously, just being under Kyla, Steph, B, and Sarah just has showed me a lot how they carry themselves and how they run the program as a player standpoint. Just kind of like show me the way that the program needs to be held to a certain standard, and just trying to keep that keep Maryland basketball at the highest standard possible.
Every time I step on the court, I need to have the same energy, set an expectation. I feel like last year I was really kind of following the seniors and letting them set the expectations when really I could set the expectations.
Keep building on that. That's a great response going. That's what we need, locking in on layups, right?
Obviously, our team is going to be very young next year, but just being there a year and kind of knowing what to expect and kind of knowing how stuff goes on, I think that it's going to put a lot of us in a position of leadership that we weren't in previously with, 4 seniors leaving. And I'm just approaching that as I want to be able to be vocal on a higher level than I was last year, but I also just want to be able to continue to learn. And if that's learning from the people in my class, if that's learning from, the people we have coming in, if that's learning from the upperclassmen, I definitely want to be able to implement a little bit more leadership myself, but also continue to learn.
Hey guys, I'm home for quarantine because the coronavirus, and me and some of my siblings are outside getting a little workout in. We're improvising. So my brother's over there doing some band work, and then we got my other sister, over there doing some core, and then Amber's about to get a workout in, and we're using propane bottles and jump ropes and our suitcase to get the work done.
Since I've been home because of the coronavirus, I've been cooking, watching Netflix, doing my little rehabbing with this stuff over here.
I obviously love my job, but I also love my job as a mom. And so I have to say, I'm just taking in the moments with my family.
What do you think, Marcus?
Hey.
You don't get this window in life, so I'm trying to fully take advantage of it.
Pretty beautiful out.
Hey Surf Fam, this is Sarah, and I will show you what I've been doing. I love puzzles, so yeah, I'm doing puzzle. This is what it's supposed to look like. It's 1,000 piece and it's really hard. So this is what I got so far.
It's actually been nice to just kind of slow down a little bit and appreciate the gift of time. Tried a few new recipes. I've had a family that's got some new puppies, so I've been able to help them with a little bit of puppy training. Being able to stop and take in a fire at night and just be surrounded by your family. I'm grateful for that time.
I'm gonna be doing some med ball saws. This isn't really a med ball, but we had to, improvise a little bit. And I also been painting. So this is one of the paintings that I did. So yeah, SpongeBob and Patrick, of course.
Stop! I'm not playing with you!
We've been able to do a lot of Zoom meetings with our staff, some Zoom meetings with the team, which of course they're always just as hysterical as they are when we see them in person.
Grind never stops, thank you.
Ashley, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, all right. So I wanted to give you guys some updates, and then obviously now as this becomes kind of our new reality for a moment.
I think the biggest challenge that we face for next season is forming that chemistry and the nucleus of what our team is going to form into. When you lose as much talent as we did this past season, and to have that experience that we were able to have from our seniors, from as many starters as we had, it's just going to take time. I mean, we have an incredibly talented roster that is going to just need to gain experience through play. And so when you look at, having your redshirt gang that has had to sit out, they've had a year off of the game. They're going to need games under their belt. When you look at how talented our sophomore class is,
again, they're only sophomores. They've only spent one season in our program. So just understanding that you've got to be able to build that through your time that you get together.
Let's keep running. Let's look at 4 high.
Between practices and in the weight room and, in your meetings that you get to have to be able to put it all together.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3.
I'm most looking forward to be as healthy as possible so I can get back on the court, be able to see my teammates the first day of practice, hopefully, after all this craziness is done, and get the ball rolling.
I'm honestly just looking forward to being on the court, and however that may be, and I'm really looking forward to being able to compete with my team at a very high level. And I'm also looking forward to showing people what we have. There's going to be a lot of doubters. There's going to be a lot of people who are interested to see how we do or underestimating us. So I'm most looking forward to showing people that we can compete at a high level every single year. And that last year as a 1 seed wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, we want to win Big Ten again, have a repeat. But honestly, I really want to go to the tournament. I've never been. I just want to experience that and go to the Final Four, go as far as we possibly can.
I'm super excited for next season. I think a lot of people right now are kind of writing us off based on the seniors that we lost and the team that we have coming back. But I think we've been through a lot this past year, and we have a really good core that's remaining. And we also have a really good freshman coming in. So I feel like we have the ability to make a lot of noise that I don't think some people are expecting.